Thanks very much. Thank you, Mr. President, for that. If I can be permitted with a brief observation leading up to a question. Mr. President, I'm sure that all the Friends of Pakistan echo your sentiment about the need, the desirability of strengthening democracy, and I'm sure that there are lots more that the Friends of Pakistan could do to assist you in this process. But you also very honestly describe challenges. And one of the long-standing challenges, which has been around for so long, seems to center around the relationship between the army and successive elected governments. Now, a lot of really positive progress seems to have taken place in recent months, the army withdrawing a bit from politics. And of course, the role of the army is absolutely essential, as we see in the continuing operations in Swat and in the Fatah, and also this wonderful job they seem to be doing with replacing, helping displaced people. On the other hand, the mechanisms for strategic dialogue between the elected government and the army, the Defence Committee of the Cabinet, the NSC, seem to be rather weak. And Friends of Pakistan may be concerned that the progress so far could be temporary. Mr. President, how do you see this relationship going forward? How do you see this rebalancing, which seems to be desirable, taking place?
Thank you, sir. One thing I can assure you, that our belief in democracy is not temporary. It has shown our past is our proof. We've all suffered for democracy, to be a democratic state for a very long time. My party, myself, my late wife, we've all been in the struggle. For democracy as such, per se, is not going back, we're going forward. Yes, the mechanisms of a dialogue between an existing organization, which is very powerful and needs to be powerful as an institution, because we've seen, wherever you have seen the institution of the armed forces crumple or finish, the state has finished with it. We see that in Afghanistan, we see that in Iraq, we see that in the other countries which I would rather not name, but the most recent example is in Iraq. It had a 1 million-man army. It was the army the world used to challenge another force it didn't appreciate. But once that institution broke, now it's next to impossible to recreate an institution. So that is what an institution, and how important the institution of the army is for a nation. Yes, of course, there have been individuals, and especially in our case, in Pakistan case, we've had 4 dictators, and they've taken over. We, the politicians, have always stood against the dictators. We've fought them democratically, and we've won. I still sit here today, whereas my predecessor, who was a dictator, is looking for a place to hide. That is the strength of democracy. Democracy has a tomorrow, and a dictator has no tomorrow. So as far as we are concerned, anything that does not have a tomorrow does not exist. So there is a relationship, understanding building between my institution and the democratic forces. The democratic forces are taking root. Sure enough, they are young. Yes, they are. I'm only 1 year old as the president. And that's when, and I'm a creation of the parliament, so democracy comes into play when the whole system is intact. So I can say that we are working at it. We appreciate your help. We appreciate the fact that this democracy today we have has been, we got to us not just by our struggle, but by the help of extended democracies like Britain. I would like to acknowledge that, and the world democracies as such. So that's what it's all about. Thank you, sir.
The person right behind Hillary, if you could stand up. Thank you very much, and give us your name.
Certainly. It's Ray Chisty, the Conservative Prospective Member of Parliament for Gillingham, Kent. Mr. President, can I start by congratulating you for bringing about stability in Pakistan in these difficult and challenging times, and the way you dealt with the situation in Swat. My question is, what further specific assistance do you require from the international community in dealing with the border region with Afghanistan?
Well, we've got a wish list, but like all wish lists are, they're maybe a little presumptuous. We basically are looking for market access to the world. We're looking to be able to become strong ourselves, because we've understood for a long time no other country or no other taxpayer is willing to foot the bill, and such a large bill. Pakistan today needs $100 billion in my economy pumped in for me to have the strength to withstand the kind of onslaught that we have against us. Now, we know that the world does not have this kind of money to give, but what we are asking for is the process. We are asking for market access in Europe, we are asking for market access in America in a special definition, which will even define the cause, because there have been terrorists and terrorism has been used as an instrument in other countries also, Sri Lanka for say. But the world was not at a threat by that. This was not an ideological war. It was a local issue of nationalism. In our case, we are caught in between an ideological monster, which was also created by us here sitting here in the free world as an instrument of war. Now that instrument of war has tried to change the world. It wants the world as we know it to get out of its axis, because chaos suits them. That's what they want. They have chaos in Afghanistan, they are flourishing. They have chaos in Iraq, they will flourish further. And they want chaos in Yemen, they've got chaos in other countries of Africa. Wherever you find chaos and no institutionalization of government bodies, they are flourishing. So that's what they require. Now we've got to suck the oxygen out of them. And the best way that I can think of is to make my own country stronger, make my people more stronger, and take them through the journey. It's not just the aid that we're asking for. I don't want aid, I want trade. Because there's a journey that we need to do in order to be self-proud and self-efficient and be able to get there and stand among the world as equals. If I was, for want of another example, I could give you an example in Vietnam. Today Vietnam is an exporting country of $170 million. That's the kind of progress, that's the kind of export we need in Pakistan. I am at 34 billion, which is nothing compared to the resources we possess and the geographical situation that we are in. All the minuses can be made into pluses if we were given the chance. Thank you, sir.
The gentleman in the aisle, yes, if you could stand up and just give us your name.
Your Excellency, my name is Srinjoy Chaudhary. I work for Times Now, an Indian TV channel. I was listening to you speak, and you said that you were fighting terror. And just today, I think, 2 FIRs have been filed against Hafiz Saeed. Can you tell us a little about it, what you have against him? And also, sir, you said that this blame game will not do. Now, if you're referring to this to and fro that's happening between India and Pakistan on 26/11, you know, that enough evidence has been given, and your side saying that not enough evidence has been given. Can you tell us, sir, what is the position as of now?
Thank you. I'll take that question. I was hoping it would not be a journalist interactive forum, but what, we can't live without you and we can't live with you. My question is, my answer to you is no, I don't mean India and ourselves blame gaming. I mean the larger concept. The larger concept of a war on terror, which we all share our values in, Friends of Pakistan Forum sort of concept, where we can bring in our assets and our weaknesses together and then see, rather than say that Pakistan hasn't done enough. Lately they haven't been saying that, but in the past it has been said that Pakistan should do more. We've been paying such a lot of money, etc., etc. That argument I was referring to. As far as Hafiz Saeed is concerned, the investigation officer would know much more than the President of Pakistan, I assure you that. So what do we have against him? I do not know. The fact that he has been picked up, yes, that is true. And that is our determination to prosecute anybody who is inclined towards the aggressive mindset. In some cases there are people, and in some cases there are betters, and some people are supporters. So we feel, and the investigation officer can tell you more, what the exact charge is.